Are you feeding your child right? Sometimes it's very hard to know, but there are some very good food parenting practices that you need to know about today, which we're going to discuss, and why they work to help you raise a healthy child who likes to eat nutritious foods and has a healthy relationship with food. So let's get going. Before we begin, though, what exactly is food parenting? Well, we have a definition. Food parenting are or is the strategies you use to positively influence your child's eating and their food choices. So it can look like your meal routines and rules that you have about food. We call this structure. It can be how you encourage your child to make nutritious food choices. We call this autonomy support. And it can be how you discourage or restrict your child from eating certain foods. This is called coercive control. Altogether, food parenting is really how you set your child up to have good eating habits. And some of the tactics or strategies that you use can be very positive, while some of them can actually be harmful and negative. Today, we're going to talk about 5 food parenting practices that you can implement that will help you get your child to be a healthy eater and have a good relationship with food. So here are 5 food parenting practices you need to raise a healthy eater and why you need them or why they are effective. Number 1, structure with meals and snacks. This basically means having routines around meal times and snack times. That can be a predictable time during the day when meals occur and when snacks occur. It can be having a predictable location where children eat. It can be having a predictable environment or predictable routines around meals and snacks. These routines provide structure. And we know that when children have a lot of structure around food, it builds security in them. They feel safe. It also builds predictability. And more importantly, or just as important, it allows them to cover their appetite and never get too hungry along the day. So again, structure with meals and snacks, regular times, regular places. The second food parenting practice that will help you raise a healthy eater is implementing boundaries or limits around food. You could call these the food rules, although the word rule these days sometimes is frowned upon. But I like to see boundaries as sort of the guardrails that keep the structure in place, keep you in charge of food, and helps you tell your child or helps your child regulate their eating. So boundaries are really the not nows, not necessarily the no's. No, you can't have that. I like to say, well, you can't have that right now. This is a not now time of day for this. It's not time for a snack right now. So again, the boundaries maintain the structure and keep you in charge of food. The third thing that makes a good food parent is responsiveness. So this is the sensitivity and warmth that you show your child around food, around their likes, their dislikes. Do you consider those? Are you respectful of those? It allows you to have reasonable flexibility, offering, for example, safe foods at the dinner table. Say you know your child doesn't like the vegetables you offer, but perhaps you know your child will eat carrots instead. That's reasonable flexibility, offering some carrots alongside the other vegetables that you're serving for dinner. Another example of being reasonably flexible is offering a bedtime snack if you know your child hasn't eaten well throughout the day, or you know your child is growing and they appear to be hungrier. Offering a bedtime snack is a reasonably flexible thing to do. Doesn't mean you have to do it forever, but in this time frame, if you're being sensitive and responsive to your child, it can be a good decision. The fourth hallmark of a good food parent is offering opportunities for autonomy and for independence. For example, letting your child pour their own milk, or stir the batter for pancakes, or set the table, or make their own snack, provided you have determined what the foods for that snack is, letting them assemble it themselves. These are all opportunities for your child to engage with their autonomy and build independence. Why does this work? Because you're leaning into your child's development and their developmental growth and building their self esteem and their self worth along the way. So, just to repeat before we get to the last one: number one, using structure with meals and snacks. Number two, having those guardrails or boundaries around food and access to food. Number three, being responsive to your child, knowing what they like and don't like, and being sensitive to that. Number four, creating opportunities for autonomy and independence, letting them sort of dip into their own strength, their inner strength around food and choices and independence. The fifth good food parenting practice that you need to raise a healthy eater is role modeling. This is you showing your child the good eating habits you want them to develop, making good food choices as a model for them. We know from the research when you're a good role model around food and eating, your child will be more willing to try new foods, to eat a healthier diet, and to know how to conduct themselves around food and build those good eating habits we all want our kids to build. So, these 5 food parenting practices will help you raise a healthy child who has a healthy relationship with food. If you want to make sure you're doing your best with food and feeding and avoiding some of the mistakes and actually really tapping into the proven positive practices that work with kids, then make sure you check out my parent program called the Nourished Child Blueprint. I'll link it below in the description. Check out my other videos and share this with someone you care about, and I'll see you next time. Bye.